Here's a few things I can't unsee when I see a street design that's incompatible with the surrounding neighborhood. P.S. Watching this video might lead to you annoying people in the future pointing these things out, so you've been warned. Oh yeah, one more thing before I get started. I just launched a Substack. So if any of the stuff in this video interests you, I'm delivering a highly minimal, highly practical set of ideas and actionables and quotes. Every Thursday, I'll be shipping something that helps you see the public realm in a different light and gives you ideas on how to make it better. Let's jump into this. I pay attention to where pedestrians are expected to interact with the street. Notice how where the curb cuts begins, there's disproportionate damage caused by tires, and there's almost always tire marks where pedestrians belong. I've got a walking sign, so it's safe for me to point this out. Look wherever there's road cracks and you can see signs of what happened to be there before. In this case, that's a railroad track poking through. On the other side, more damage where it's invading car space. Bollard or some sort of permanent pole would help to discourage people who are paying attention from hopping up onto the curb. It would mitigate damage of people who aren't paying attention who hit the curb. I almost always look at trees because you'll see scarring like this or like this, which points to instances where this stopped a car that was going wayward. More curb cuts and more tracks, this time 10 feet on to the sidewalk. Increased damage. Cyclists on sidewalks are a strong sign that even places where they're meant to ride are unsafe. And often when you see nearby parking across from amenities, what you'll see is people that cross the street mid-block. Though heavily discouraged, if you make the safe option inconvenient, you incentivize risky behavior. Now, businesses should want people crossing the street. This is symbiotic. They've created a 4-lane thoroughfare that goes through a heavily pedestrianized area. Signs of trash in areas where homeless people frequent should be seen as signs of life. This is the areas people are attracted to. And often they just need more trash receptacles, not hostile architecture. This is 5 o'clock on a workday, and this road is easily handling the throughput. This means this road was over-engineered. And though you could probably expect some backup to happen in the middle of rush hour, although it's not happening now, that's to be expected. And a road that has to be here 24 hours a day shouldn't be designed for the 30 minutes a day in which it's heavily used. One of the reasons we saw that cyclist on the sidewalk is because they've left no room for cyclists and just put these sharrows here to let cars know cyclists share the road. Now, this was a sign of a pretty gruesome crash at the end of last year, but if you Google this, you'll actually see other crashes have happened at this exact same spot. According to a Times article, there's been 8 crashes into this same building since the year 2000. Something that shows a lack of design is an overabundance of signs to educate people on how to act. This not only doesn't help people who are inattentive, it's completely useless to people who might be sight impaired. Now, despite there being shops on both sides of the street, real estate on that side of the street where the pedestrian bridge dumps people off is a lot more expensive than this side of the street. Damage to the telephone pole close to the road, more. Sometimes when you see much younger trees next to much older trees, it could mean those trees didn't make it because of some disease. A lot of times they didn't make it because of cars. Now, this is a public transit route, but without a spot for a bus to pull off, it means it stops in a lane where a car could be moving quickly. This creates a variable speed, so someone might shift a lane without looking or slam on their brakes and cause someone else to run into them. And instead of the traffic just backing up in the lane where the bus is, they could end up backing up that other lane too. So designating spots for the buses to pull off could actually help traffic throughput. The road's been resurfaced so many times throughout the years that it almost comes flush with the curb. This is a design technique that's actually good when you slow down cars to a safe speed, and it's what's called a shared street. But it's dangerous because there's neither like a spatial delineation or any sort of physical delineation between the sidewalk and the road. So fast-moving cars are literally an inch away from where people are supposed to be standing. More tree scars, more curb damage where cars jumped into pedestrian space with track. Now here's the thing, cars destroy things all around town. This isn't abnormal. What is abnormal is this is the postcard of our city. We host festivals in the park just behind these buildings. Almost any shot of Chattanooga is gonna be like drone footage of this area. These are some of the most iconic small businesses in town. It's generally meant for people. Now, this is getting a total redesign. It's long overdue, and it's happening in part because of the tragic crash that happened last year, and activists and organizers making sure that those people did not die in vain. Now let's talk about some of the good things that make this place exciting. The corridor created by buildings that don't have setbacks gives us a sense of enclosure. As humans, we love enclosed space. A collection of old buildings and beautiful architecture gives us what's known as eye-level interest. Beautiful things to look at. We love spending times in interesting places, and that variation does it for us. Also, entrance frequency, lots of little businesses, so that you can come intending to get one thing and end up spending time and going places you weren't intending on, which is great for businesses, and also great for people who want to get together in groups because you can all get something different from this area. And then of course the Walnut Street Bridge, a fully pedestrianized bridge that spans the Tennessee River, bringing people on foot to these stores. Because remember, you get paid not by the amount of cars that pass by your store, but by the amount of wallets that enter your store. And pedestrians and cyclists outspend vehicles in this aspect every single time. So in short, Fraser Avenue is a destination. And as such, it should be designed in such a way to prioritize a place that you come to, not a place you pass through. And time again has showed us that if you choke down traffic in a given area, it might back up nearby roads for a smaller amount of time, but then people change their behavior. In fact, on the other side of the river, we had Riverfront Parkway, and it was decided it was going to be removed, and people freaked out that it was going to cause a lot of traffic. But guess what? It peaked, and then it reached a homeostasis, and almost no new traffic was added to nearby streets over time. If you're interested in seeing your public realm and city differently and acting within it differently, give my Substack a follow.